Okay, a stupid ad got in my way. Oh, we're gonna. Oh, I did put a stop to it. No fucking ad is gonna stop me. Well, I saw some videos today that were like, I don't know, epically pretty cool. And I did keep the channel. We're gonna go to it right now. Oh, hello. Tonight is going to be the most, I don't know, it's not going to be the most insane show I ever do, but it's going to be pretty crazy. There is this channel I just found, so let me show you. So it's this channel, Stickman Harry. He does videos about the Harry Potter universe. Like, he looks like he answers everything. And yeah, I watched a couple of the videos earlier. I'm going to go into more of these later on, I guess. Not tonight, but I will watch more of these. This is all Harry Potter. It even has the broomsticks. And I'm sure, yeah, there it is, the Nimbus. It's on here. They have the Nimbus, the one I want to fly. They got wand, every wand core and wood meaning explained in detail too. As in there's a part one of those wands. Oh, there's the wand one. And it looks like it goes back a full year. The first video is Voldemort's powers. Okay. Well, there's a video on here that mentioned why didn't the wizards, I don't know, conquer the mundane world? Let's see if I can even find it for that matter. Well, I have this one I'm going to watch later. Probably, I'm not going to watch it tonight, but I will watch it later. Trying to find out why. Where the hell is it? Okay, there it is. All the wizard shops in Diagon Alley. Apparently there's 12 buildings in it. Well, Shikodu, we're going to compare the Sacred School of the Prophecy to Hogwarts. Well, there's already a major difference. God, that's actually not that rich. Those are the richest families, apparently. Oh. I can't find where my comment was. Well, there was... Wrong button. I need to turn that around. Well, I commented on a video on why the Wizarding World was unable to conquer the Muggle world. And apparently our surveillance technology and our weapons and the number of wizards. Well, apparently there's only 400,000 wizards in the entire world of the Wizarding World. Like, that's everybody across the entire planet. 400,000. You know, the U.S. military has more active personnel than that, and that's just one country. North Korea has 2 million. We've got about 1 million. China, I think, is about 1 million. I estimate there's about 15 million active military on Earth, like every country on Earth combined was about 15 million active duty military. As in, the Wizarding World wouldn't stand a chance no matter what. So I can't find the exact video. I should have saved a link to it. But I'm going to go look up and find out how many students Hogwarts has. Okay, I just compared, trying to figure out how big a Shikodu block is compared to a block in San Francisco. And they're not that far off. They're maybe about 20% difference in size. So let's find out. So we know about how big the Sacred School actually would be if it was on Earth. Oh, we're about to find out how many students in Hogwarts. That's tiny. I think my junior high had about that many students. The junior high school I attended had about, oh, whoa. That's okay. Let's open this up. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to read the AI review because I'm guessing that's probably, it says there were 40 students in Harry Potter's year, according Hogwarts would have 280 students. Hogwarts, a small school, about 500 students. I don't think it's 500 because no, 40 students in Harry's year, according to Reddit. Well, AI says the official estimates for the student population of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry vary widely, while J.K. Rowling has variously estimated the population at 600 to 1,000 students. Deductive math based on class sizes in the book suggests a smaller total of about 280 to 560 students. Each body breakdown depends on which source your calculation method is used. The 280 estimate in Harry Potter's specific Gryffindor year, there are only 5 boys, including approximately 2 students per house per year. With 4 houses and 7 years, this math yields 280 students in total. While 600 to 1,000 estimate, Rowling's higher estimate account for details like class sizes such as the 40-student 5th year defense against the dark arts class and broader wizarding population. Many fans and platforms like Reddit and Quora debate these numbers, often noting that Harry's specific class year may have been smaller than average due to the first wizarding year. Okay, so we'll go with 1,000 students. Well, the Sacred School of the Prophecy has about 3,500 students, adults, not kids. So we're not dealing with kids here, at least with the school in Shikodu. The Sacred School has 3,000 as a capacity of 3,468 students. That's the capacity. So I'll say there's probably 3,400 to 3,350, I guess. There may be a couple of empty desks scattered across the campus. But Hogwarts is, I don't know, a handful of buildings. Let's go see if we can find out what Hogwarts looks like. What map of Hogwarts grounds. Let's see how many buildings it actually is. Because the school, there are actually like, people have done like floor plans of the campus and all that. But there's nothing official about it. So I will load up game maps from the Hogwarts. I'll load up the Hogwarts Legacy map. Because it's official enough, I guess. Let's see if I can get it bigger. Okay, well this is a video game map we're going to use. And it appears to be 3 buildings. You got this building, building here, and a building here. This is a video game, mind you, so it's probably not the most accurate, but I'm going to go with it because it is officially licensed material. So we're going to go with this as being the map of the campus, or at least an overview of the campus. Well, there is a boathouse, that's building 4, but it doesn't have students. So there is like this, that's a Hufflepuff common room, so that may be its own building. So you got the Great Hall, Reception Hall, Entrance Hall, Well, that's a courtyard, so that's not even a building. So that's a building. So we got quad courtyard, so that's outside. So we got the Ravenclaw Tower. That's the one with that tower that just stacks on the edge of it. There's a Gryffindor Tower. I don't know what that one looks like from the outside, but there's the grand staircase. So you got a lot of stuff in here. You got a library, arithmancy classroom. So you got a little bit. You got some divination classroom. It's not. I don't think it's to scale. I don't think this is actually to scale. But somebody did do it. Someone actually made a serious attempt. I'm gonna go see if I can find it. There's the game. There's another game one on I can't load Pinterest. I wish I could block sites I don't want showing up, like Pinterest, which I can't load. But there is this one. I don't think it's going to load any bigger, but this person made a serious attempt. I think they covered at least 2 floors of the school. So we're only looking at like 2 buildings here, with only a handful of them. You can see the classrooms, like, I don't know, we got like 10, 15 classrooms on here. I don't know. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know. It's maybe 30 classrooms across that. We got Art Station made an attempt. Let's have a look at their map. Art Station makes an attempt at it. So we got this is Art Station's map of the campus. Again, it's like 2 to 3 buildings. We got the entrance for that fight with Voldemort, clock tower. We got classrooms. So we got here. We actually know what the classrooms are. So we got, and it's funny, Muggle studies. That's funny. They got Muggle studies. Care of magical creatures. Milne's office, assembly hall, exam rooms 1 and 2. Xylomancy, student shop, abandoned wing. I don't know what the hell would be in there, but we even got the bathrooms. Right there, bathrooms. Offices. Without a doubt, these might actually be actual classrooms. This might actually be a classroom building. But we're going to look at the Sacred School of the Prophecy. And this is the Sacred School of the Prophecy. As you can see, this whole red is educational structures. So you got classrooms primarily located here, and that building that's classrooms and admin. That's the admin. And these are all temples. There's classrooms here and here. There's a bathhouse. That's a tea house for the students. It's like relax. That's like a community. That's like a community area. That's like, I don't know, a great hall kind of thing. So we got a meeting. We got like a bathhouse for the students. The church. And that's the great hall right there in the middle here. And then you head over to the other end of town, to the outskirts of town, you got another building full of classrooms. Well, just to show you how many classrooms you're going to have for 3,500 students, let me show you just how many classrooms in that one building. That's the floor plan. Okay, let me make this bigger so you can actually kind of see it better. Okay, this building right here, it's upside down, by the way. My floor plan's upside down because this building, the front door is on the top here. So you got that building. And I wish I could find my mouse. Okay, there it is. And it would look like this. Let me turn this around so you can see it properly. That's the building in situ would be on the map. And you can see all the desks for each classroom. Classrooms are actually quite small and intimate. If you're going to teach the occult and all that, you can't have two. You're not going to have like great halls with 1,000 students like we do at UC Berkeley or whatever. You're not going to have that. It's going to be like the actual Hogwarts. We have intimate classes with only 18 or 20 students, 24. Yeah, that's only 24 students in that class. And this smaller one's only 12. So we got 12 and 24 in a lot of these rooms. So that's this one building, and it had that many classrooms in it. So we're going to skip over to this long building right here. That has a library on the top floor, by the way. Like I said, there are 3,468 students across the entire campus. These classrooms are 18 students. A lot of these are, I think they're all 18 students across the entire building. So if I orient this correctly to what's on the map, it'd be that way. It'll look like that. So I'll switch back to the map so you can see the building on the map. There it is. It's this long one right here. And I'll switch back to the floor plan showing just how many students are in there. If I can find the name that is, it would tell me. 684 students on this. So it covers one floor. Well, I didn't change this one to look the other way, but you go to the top floor of that building, there's a library across. There's 2 wings in the library. And there's study halls and a classroom right there. Looks like another classroom. There's one on that side, so let me make sure those weren't modified. It looked like it modified. I'm going to have to go figure out what the hell I put that back. It was that way. And I will put this the way it's supposed to be. I had them originally. So those are the campuses. And we go back up. We can look at this building, which is right here. There's 2 of them. Oh, that building is 2, and there's more classrooms. And it looks like that. It's only 12. It's 12 students per class. Quite an intimate session here, and it has its own, like its own hall. It has a little hall of its own. So it's only 2 stories. We're looking at Hogwarts is puny. Hogwarts having 800 students, which is a round estimate, would literally fit in just one of the buildings. Would literally fit in that one school building that looked like it was a big ring of classrooms. It's 2 stories, and it would literally house all the students of Hogwarts without a problem. I doubt Hogwarts has 1,000 students. I would estimate the highest population about 500, which would fit in. Let me show you how big 500 students would be. Let's see if I can find one of the schools is around the 500 mark. So you can see just how small that actually is. Yeah, that is actually not very big. It's only... I'll show you what 500 students fits in. It's not very big. It's just a single building, and this is that building. You got, looks like 8 classrooms per floor. And you go up the next floor and up to the top. So you got 24 classrooms will fit, what is it, 576 students. You can fit them all in a single building, which is just that, like a regular high school in Victorian City with what would be 12 classrooms. That's only 12 classrooms. You're not looking at that much space. That building, there are 3 of that building. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 3 of them. And a lot of these buildings like that, that's a temple, that's a church, that's a type of church, that's a church, and that's, like I said, that's a bathhouse. These are small churches. They're just different various temples from Kitasuna's mythologies. All their mythologies have an example of the religious structures to learn in. That's what this school is. It's a magical school. So you're going to have an example of all their religious structures. So, like I said in the comment, I wrote the entry course book for the Sacred School of the Prophecy. I have gone over this in the past. I've gone over it numerous times, actually. So I'm not sure how much detail I'm actually going to go over here, but I think I might go more depth here, actually, because there is a lot in this book. It's 285 pages long. I'm not sure how long most university textbooks are, but this thing is full of graphics, full of information. It covers like 6 major religious styles or classes of religions. It's like, if you were to break up Earth's religions into this book, you'd have Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Shintoism, you'd have Wicca, and you would have animism, which is the Native American and African traditional religions. You probably didn't have a separate section just for voodoo, because of just how different it is from a lot of religions. So you would have, I don't know, like that would be Earth's version of this book. I'm not going to write that book because someone else is going to have to do that. I wrote a book for Kitasuna's religions. I'm not going to write another 200, 300-page book just to cover Earth's various religions. That's not my life. My life is Kitasuna. So I'm going to cover their religion. So we're going to look at the Sacred School of the Prophecies book. Their main textbook. So this is Pan Mythica 03. So we're going to go to look at the list of books. There are plenty of them. I think there's stuff that is not, a lot of this is probably not even, some of these are not even taught on Kitasuna, but there's 41 books specifically related to Kitasuna. 41 that I would consider literal, actual, like lesson books for the Sacred School of the Prophecy. Cultures of Kitasuna is probably not taught on Kitasuna itself. So there'd only be 2 of these, so it'd be 40 books. Timeline would probably be taught. I've only just begun to scratch the surface of that. As you can see, there's nothing here. It's like barely anything out of... There's literally no way it's 200 and... How is there 285 pages here? There's not. There's only 6. Okay, so we can look at, well, history of the Roman Empire would be taught, and so would the occult practices would be taught. So it'd be 39. Index of the channel logs would not be taught, because that's my book. It's one of mine. So Pan Mythica would probably be the first book, along with, and then History of the Roman Empire would be the second on Kitasuna to their students. So we're going to go through this, and this is the beginning of it. So we go through what magic is, planes of spiritual reality, levels of magical powers, levels of spirits, grading an entity. You know, this is stuff Hogwarts should teach, but they don't, because they literally have Hagrid, who teaches about the animals, magical animals. And here I have a chapter about grading an entity, which is about talking about its power levels and all that. And I even have a section on like spiritual entities. I don't cover like dragons and all that, because in the physical world, dragons don't actually exist. They would be classified as a spiritual being, like unicorns, griffins, and all that stuff. They don't actually exist in the physical world, and probably never have, and most certainly never have. They'd be spiritual creatures. So I cover the manifestations of spiritual creatures, like feelings or channeling, images, smoke, fire, spiritual imprints, white ectoplasm, mixed ectoplasm, dark ectoplasm, altered material, physical type, divine type, sort of chaos type. So an exorcist would be familiar with the ectoplasm type manifestations, and even altered material, which is when a demon changes an object's form. Like when a demon literally changes shape of my wall to step out of my wall, or press its image into the face of my wall, which is what you're going to see when you look at the altered material type in this book. So you got possessions, which Hogwarts doesn't even teach. We got light body, dark body, and physical transformations. So we got all different types of transformations. We got how to discern channeling concerning, this only concerns the prophecy, because this is a prophecy book. So we got cultural giveaways, like how to discern if the channeling's real or not. So you got effective reading the prophecy. Read the prophecy, you got the channeling law, so it tells you how to like know it. It's an idiot's guide to reading my books, is what 37 is. It's an idiot's guide. So now we get into ritual postures, which is the stances you're going to take, positions when you stand, hold your dagger a certain way or whatever. That's what that is. Because it just mentions it later on. They're just used later on. You're expected to learn this crap. This tells you how to correct way to burn an offering, tells you and shows you how to burn an offering to get it to actually light up and burn relatively easily. You're not going to have too much smoke. At least not enough to set up an old style fire alarm. It'll set up the new ones. So if you're going to burn offerings, I would advise you to remove the fire alarms, the fire detectors from the room or whatever, any area the smoke will have access to. And then when you get to lesson 2, that's when we start talking about the various religions on Kitasuna. And this is the part where Hogwarts excels, is in its various courses. So I'll pull up something actually quite interesting in that area. I'll deal with that later, because this shows the size of a San Francisco city block. Where I live, the main section of the city. They're 275 feet by 412.5 feet. South of Market is 550 by 825 feet. So now I know. Now I know how big the city blocks are. But a Shikodu block is 300 by 400. 300, I think it's 309 by 412. So a Shikodu block is slightly longer, actually. So these are actually slightly longer than a San Francisco block. Or they're wider and less wide. I think a San Francisco block is slightly wide. Let me see what it is, because it's 309 feet wide from this intersection to this intersection, from property line here. Property line here is 300, should be 309 feet, and it's 412 feet from this direction. So that's the only difference. These blocks are slightly wider, I guess. The San Francisco blocks are 275. And there's a San Francisco block for you. So it would be 275 feet from that property line to that property line, 412 from that end to that end. So this is the width of a Shikodu block. Like literally down to the foot. So I could, if I had a way, I could superimpose a map of Shikodu and get the actual size of the city versus an Earth city, and I know how to measure it outright against any other city on the planet, so you can see how big Shikodu is. And I'll do that in my own time, actually. So that's the blocks. They're almost the same size, actually. So I can get rid of this. Let me go search. I don't need that anymore, and I don't need that anymore. So let me look up the gray. Let me see if they gotta still exist. I don't know if the guy's dead or not, but I'll show you an actual Hogwarts school in the real world. It does exist. Here it is. That's the website for an actual Hogwarts in the physical world. I actually met the founder, and he's pretty freaking awesome. So we're going to look. I used to own the books, but I had to get rid of them because I had a bug infestation. I will rebuy them. Let's see if there's a course catalog. Let's see how they divide this. Okay, it's not trying to load. Okay. Holy shit, yeah, there's some shit they don't even have at Hogwarts. Anatomy and Physiology 101 skeletal system. I was not expecting that, but there is animal care and empathy, anything box, it's divination, the Bardic Magic 101. These are actually real courses you can literally take. They're real. He was impressed when I told him about my books, and I hadn't even written Pan Mythica when I met him. He inspired me to write the Pan Mythica because I wanted to have my own book that taught prophecy magic, even though it's too complicated, no one's ever going to learn it. Okay, colors of magic, that's what I was looking for, but it won't let me open these. It does not fucking let me. Canvas directory forms, gray matters. What do we have in the videos? This is new. Wizardry doesn't even tell me. The lecture explored how wizardry, when stripped from fantasy, does it load?
So, good evening, everyone. I hope that
it's an hour and a half long. So yeah, we're looking at real courses here.
And I'm the headmaster here at the Gray School. It is a pleasure.
I think he's dead. I think the founder's dead. Because this is not the founder. The founder is Oberon Zell Ravenheart. And this is not him.
To be with you, and I thank you. Here we go.
What is his name?
So, good evening, everyone. I hope that the day finds you in good health and, of course, high spirits. My name, as many of you know, is Nicholas Kingsley.
Nicholas Kingsley. I don't know who that
It's
is.
a pleasure to be with you, and I thank you for taking the time to be present for this evening's lecture. Now, before we begin properly.
Okay, that's an actual lecture. I'm not going to play that out of respect to the school. I don't know why I can't zoom down or scroll down, but these are all over. These are pretty much an hour long or longer. A lot of these are really long. And they're pretty new, actually, a lot of these. Some of these, one of these is dated to November 2nd, 2025. There are, let me guess, that's 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. There's 8 hours just on the colors of magic alone. Like literally 8 hours. And that's just the colors of magic. That's not even going into anything. These people are like a trillion years ahead of even my stuff. I don't have lectures, all that. I just have the entry course for a campus with 3,500 students. So we're not even going to bother with this map anymore. I don't need it. I don't know how many students this guy has, but I don't know how big the school actually is. I actually don't. But like it says, it's only for adults mostly. They have a psychic program for 11 to 17. But most of this is not for kids. It's like just like the sacred school is. It's for adults. This is for adults. I can see if I can find course catalog. There's a course catalog in here. I have to log in to even view that. I'm not going to do that. I don't really plan on starting courses here. Oh, yeah, let's get to the founder. The founder's mentioned here. Let's get him. There he is. There's a real life Dumbledore. But in real life. I actually met him. I met him twice. So that's him. It looks like he's probably dead, I'm guessing. I don't know. See if we, yeah, there it is. He mentions Harry Potter. Oh, he mentions the word. He meant the word of Harry Potter, but this guy was around since the days of the freaking hippies and shit. He wrote a magazine called The Green Egg or something like that. Let me see if I can find it. I don't need that either. I'm done with the map. I think I found. No, I don't want that. It's like The Green Egg. Magazine. See if we can find his magazine. I think it was in this. I think that's it. That's where he published. That's where he used to publish. He used to publish in The Green Egg. And it looks like this is still around. Number 194. Yeah, it's been around since. I know it's been around since the 60s because he told me about this. And he was part of the founding of the Church of All Worlds. He was part of its founding. Oh, that is weird. If I click on the text, only highlights when I'm not on it. Okay, well, that does still exist. So I'm gonna save this, and we'll go into it later because you saw this live, so I'm gonna see if I can. The video mentions Green Egg. Yep, there it is. Like I said, Green Egg. Yeah, that same impulse later found one of its clearest voices in Green Egg, in a time before the internet made discovery easy, when many people who felt drawn toward old questions still had little way of finding one another. The magazine could arrive like proof that one's private searching was not entirely private at all. Under Oberon's care, Green Egg carried more than articles through the mail or at shops. When it carried was recognition. A reader could open its pages and feel that the questions stirring in their own life were being asked elsewhere by people brave enough to give those questions language. Oberon understood the power of that recognition and knew that a movement begins to take form when people who had been thinking alone start to hear themselves answered from beyond their own walls. Green Egg thus became one of the ways he helped that larger conversation find its voice, and in that work one can already hear an early echo of the school he would later found, a place where scattered longing was invited into shared study and where an idea became stronger because people were given somewhere to gather around it. And the unicorn, he mentions his unicorn, his wife Morning Glory here. Because he did literally create a living unicorn. So I can look that up too, but this is not technically this is not supposed to be about the Great School of Wizardry, but I thought I would bring it up because there is literally an actual grimoire for the Apprentice Wizard, and which is one of the books that he wrote. I'm gonna have to rebuy all of these. I actually had them autographed, but that ain't gonna happen anymore if he's dead. Yeah, I don't think he's alive anymore. It doesn't say that he's dead, but let's see if it does. It says the vision Oberon set in motion proves itself in the life of the school each day. At Grace School Wizardry, wizardry is carried as a practice trade through the ordinary labor of study and services, and to many, the word itself now stands for a real education rather than an image borrowed from story. The school keeps its beginning alive by allowing it to mature in public, where each generation of pupils meets the work as something that has to be practiced and tested. Will no, they don't even actually cover that he's probably passed on. Let's see what it does somewhere else. Oh, as the founder and first headmaster, so there's no way he would have freaking retired or stopped. Let's see if it even says. No, it's just all venerating him, actually. Let's see if there's a way to get the book still. If any mistakes are found, please email us at headmastergrayschool.com. Okay, I guess we can look at the policies. Let's see if there is a physical location. I think it's just a website. I don't think there is a physical location. He wanted a physical. I asked him, hey, are you going to make a physical location? He actually wanted to make a physical location for the school. Okay, campus map. What the fuck? Is there really something to this? No, I think that's fictional, but it's pretty cool. He actually did create a campus map and all that for it. He must have he must have thought about my idea. Campus map should be used alongside course section notices, event postings, lodge communications, public announcements, and faculty direction. When an activity names a location, people should arrive in good time, observe the purpose of the space, and conduct themselves in a manner appropriate to that setting. The campus is an academic and community environment with many kinds of spaces serving different institutional needs. Familiarity with the map helps pupils move through the environment confidently, attend scheduled activities on time, locate offices and halls, find lodge areas, and participate more fully in the life of the Gray School. So this isn't even readable. Is there a way to make this bigger? No, it's not a way to make it bigger, but as you can see, he's got probably about as much. He has about as much buildings as the Sacred School of the Prophecy does. He really did take up my idea. So I asked him, where is it? You ever make a physical school? Where the hell would it be? Well, he said it would be in Cotati, California, if he was able to do it for reals. So he took up my idea, at least digitally, anyways, and created this. The map on here is not readable. I loaded it and everything. It's not readable. I don't think there's links in here either. No, there's no links on here. The whole thing's online, by the way. There's no links. Tuition. Let's see what it takes to join this thing. It's actually not that bad. Until you get to this part, that's pretty fucking insane. Like, that's actually... Okay, what do you get for the cheapest one? Something... If I was to mess around and join this for the hell of it, what would I get for $25 a month? The apprenticeship program is a text-based, self-paced course of study for adults offered entirely online. I guess these are all online? Oh, I think they are because shit. He doesn't have a physical, he never did make an actual physical campus. I was asking about it. But he did create a map like I was talking about, which was pretty cool. Apprentices advance through 7 levels, which is what's in the book that he created, by completing lessons across a chosen major or minor. It says, learn the core skills and principles of modern wizardry. Join one of 4 academic lodges and support and community. Enroll in up to 6 courses at a time for focused study. Pursue leadership roles within your academic lodge. Attend live lectures in VGSW and online platforms. Qualify for select in-person academic classes. So they do, like, some of the teachers did even when I first met them, some of the teachers did offer in-person wherever they lived. And they're all over the country. So it really depends on who your class is with, if you're going to, like, have somebody. Well, sadly, this is not just a campus you go to, like dorms and all that stuff, like a regular university. Partake in the university's official it has a Discord and forums. You can graduate with an official journeyman certificate. You actually get a certificate for it. Okay, does this one even change? Oh yeah, it does. This one does change. It says advanced through structured, guided academic pathway, progress as a cohort. In collaborative group study in the next one up, 50s is collaborative. Apply learning in immersive scenario-based training. Join an elemental lodge for community. There's elemental lodges here. Yeah, he told me about that when I talked to him. I was telling him about the elements on the Hogwarts schools, the colors and what their elements are. So he agreed with me on that. And stuff about the elemental qualities, which he had at the time when I met him. He already had that when I met him. Okay, the other $50 one is this is a cohort. There's a live taught curriculum. Holy shit! It's taught on. That's what the campus is. It's on Second Life. I heard of Second Life. It's a VR game. Or it's a computer game. I don't know if it's VR or not, but... So, yes, there is a campus. It's in Second Life. You get access to the Second Life on the $50 every month program. So what's this one then? You don't get the VR on the Magister program? Well, I guess that's what the V means, virtual. So I guess that's what the school map is, but there's no detailed version of it anywhere. So 300 gets you an apprenticeship program. The course is still online. Apprentices advance through 7 levels by completing the lessons across the chosen major minor. The other 300 is also on the virtual campus on Second Life. 500, oh, that's 300 every 6 months. So that breaks down to $50. So 500 in a year actually is a bargain. Saves you $100 really. It's not virtual. It doesn't have the virtual thing on it. So the last one is the Psyche program for youth 11 to 17. To do with their parents and guardians. This program is focused on building the wise ones of tomorrow. Ooh, wise ones. Magical power. I have the power. Learn skills like grounding and centering. Learn the roles and foundations of modern wizardry. Build confidence through engaging assignments and activities. You know the books, the core books that came with the school when I bought them from him in person, they were actually aimed at kids. They were aimed at that age group. So the core material is actually aimed at 11 to 17. It actually has experiments for like psychic training and shit. There's even, the thing where you put the paper thing up, the little paper spinner on top of your top of a needle, and you just psychic powers to make it spin. It even has that in there. That's in his book. So I'm gonna see if I can find the books. Or I guess, there's a picture of the campus. So there is something about it in here. It says the virtual campus of Great School of Wizardry is not a game nor a novelty. It is an authentic, purpose-built extension of the Great School's education mission, powered by the Second Life platform. Does anyone even use Second Life anymore? That is so freaking old. It's like it existed when I talked to him. It was like new back then, but yeah, you can actually see the people in there and stuff. It's like that's what it looks like. It's a lot better than what Facebook has. That it's a lot better than Facebook bullshit. I give them that. Like that VR, it's like VR chat or something. That's what it looks like. Looks like VR chat or something, like one of their things. But I'm guessing, there's a movie. I'm not going to watch that today, but where are his books? Is getting a print shop to literally... I guess I'm going to do it. I want those damn books back. Even if I have to have them as a file, I'll have them printed up somewhere. Okay, I don't even have that. So let's see about enrolling. Sign up, enroll. See what they want. Choose a password, confirm password, street address. What is your birthday? How did you hear about the Great School? I met your fucking founder. How do you prefer to engage with course material? Reading, note-taking, self-study. How do you manage your time and stay motivated when learning independently? This isn't really what I want. I want the damn books. But I want the hard copies. It is not really what I wanted. I don't actually want to attend the school. I just want the books. How confident are you using online platforms for reading and engaging with text-based lessons? Honestly, I haven't the slightest fucking idea. But my computer can at least read shit to me. I can do that right now. I'll just show you how I engage in text-based lessons. This is how I do it.
What magic is? Meguro Hotaki. Magic is a reality that is not perceived by the physical senses of the body. Magic can, however, be sensed by the spiritual senses of the soul. Magic is a reality that exists outside of our usual potential. Using magic is a system of enhancing probability in the sorcerer's favor through either mental control or through the aid of a deity or spirit. Using magic and observing magic are totally different things. They are viewed by the populace at large differently. Seeing magic is different than using it.
So yeah, I can take the class if I really wanted to. I have ways of, I don't know, making things where I can understand them. What interests you in grade school wizardry, and how does it align with your personal or professional goals? It would take me all freaking night to fill these questions out, because given that I've actually met the founder and I wrote literally a 285-page book because of the material I had at the time, which is from here, Temple of Serenity, all the way to, it would be, I had most of this already in existence at the time I met the guy. The only thing I didn't have was the Urash. And 5.6, the Zare Codex, was probably the only book that did not exist when I met him. The copyrights are updated whenever I add a huge amount of material. But this book was created this was created during the pandemic. I mean, the plandemic. When I started working on this book, started asking the Rokot and all that, or in this case, it wasn't the Rokot, it was the Zare. Hence, there it is, the Zare betrayal. So the Zare wrote a lot of this. Orazio Umi. Yes, it's not a Rokot name at all. But yeah, I will be keeping this. I will see if I can contact them and find out how to get those books. I don't know why I can't get to the... Oh, shit. Let me get out of there completely. This is fucking... What are the policies? Probably just the regular shit. Faculty and staff information. New hires are accepted from a probationary period of 6 months. Okay. Applications must at least be 25. Well, I'm 42, so that... Oh yeah, he actually does have a defense against the dark arts by name in here somewhere. I remember seeing it a long time ago. So he actually does plagiarize Harry Potter, at least on that level. Because you literally did have it. Defense against the dark arts is a literal class. Oh, he already caught up! He's ahead of the times! Well, AI is strictly prohibited, just so you know. Academic policies, communication, etiquette, and ethics. I'm pretty sure just common sense. Because when I was talking to him, common sense would get you through pretty much all of it. Faculty and... Who are the faculty and... There's got to be a way to figure out who the hell they are. Like, they used to have them on here with pictures. They used to be on here. That's the thing. Lodge life? What are you doing lodge life in a non-physical campus? Like, what do? Do I just live my fucking life on Second Life, which I don't think my computer will even handle Second Life. That game is like 15 years old. I'm not sure my computer can handle it, but I know my phone can. I think my phone's more powerful than my computer. I don't fancy myself being on Second Life on my phone, of all places. So then, contact us. What do we got here? I'll just ask them. Shit, why not? How can I get the books? I'm just going to ask them. This email is public, so I don't care if you people see it. I honestly don't care. You guys can email me. You'll just get deleted or blocked. Okay. Okay, it's not from. Oh, that's about all I can do, really. There's no books. There's a handbook. I'll go put that in another tab and see what we get. Handbook as of looks like last month. It just has mistakes and shit found, but there's no current moon's 33% full, so there's that. There's a faculty roster. There is a way to see who they are. And see what they got for merch. See if there's like a sweater I can get. Like, yeah, I once attended a real magical school. Magic Alley. Oh, cool. They actually have notebooks of some of the courses. They actually have, like, they're not notebooks, they're just stickers. They have a tote bag. They have a bandana thingy. Oh, they do have journals. They have my school, Flames. They have the Flames Lodge. It's my sign. Aries is a fire sign, so they have mine. If they got shadows, that means there's 5 elements in this. So I would have to really figure out what I am now. If there's 5 elements, what the hell am I on this system, or how do I figure out who I am? Being Christian now, am I even of the shadow anymore? They got a backpack, physical backpack. They got expeditionary cap. I actually have a beige cap of that. The shirts are pretty cool. They have the shirts. Looks like sticker sheets. Holographic Go Wisp stickers. They got slip-on shoes. Like, those are the ones I got from Target. But they're charging like actually, they're charging twice what I paid for mine. But they are the exact same shoe I got from Target. Except for mine are pleather. And they look like canvas. They got buttons. They got bandana collar. They don't show what it looks like on a like if you were to wear it. They got pins. Oh, I just love that fucking symbol. That's so cool. It's got the scepter of Asclepios, the snakes. It's got a pentagram and the Ankh. That's what's on that. He told me himself, but we kind of like over talked each other because we both knew what the symbol was. I wish the hoodies were zip ups because I don't wear pullovers. They tend to yank my shirts out. So I always tuck in my shirts, and non-button up hoodies. They tend to rip my shirt out from being tucked in and sexy. Is he actually still alive? The guy's got to be almost 100. For more than 50 years, Oberon has been authorized to publish numerous articles and several books on subjects ranging from histories, mysteries, Gaian theology, and magic to shamanism, mythology, anomalies, cryptozoology, archaeology, cosmology, and related fields. Dude, the guy is an actual fucking genius. If he is still alive and you get a chance to actually meet Oberon, just do it. Even if you don't believe in magic, just fucking meet the dude. He's actually a freaking genius. Like he's like the Mitro of Earth. Yeah, my world has the Kiyosuna people. They got Mitros. They're like super scholar. Well, Mitro was actually excited learning about this dude. I'm not sure how much of it I actually recorded in my channel logs, if any of it. It might have been before all that, or it might have done it when I was there because the hotel did serve alcohol, so I might have actually just channeled the dude live. Because I think Mitro and Oberon did meet, but Mitro was like co-pilot in my body when we did it. Because the bar, they did serve alcohol there at the venue what was it called? Something tree, the willow tree, or whatever it was. It was in Milpitas, no, it wasn't Milpitas. I think it was in San Jose by the airport. It was down there when I met him. They had a thing called Panthea Con, and he attended it twice, and that's where I met him. So the Grimoire's from 2004, so I bought it in person. So that was way back. This is back when I lived in Fremont. It doesn't say if he's alive or dead. Well, there's Nicholas. There's Nicholas Kingsley. So that's the guy that's running it now. They don't say if he's alive or dead. Grimoire the Apprentice Wizard has become a fundamental reference for students of wizardry. Apparently it still remains a source of lasting value. He later published Companion to the Apprentice Wizard and Creating Circles of Ceremonies. Those are 3 books I had all 4 of these. And the only thing I don't have is the Green Egg Omelet, an anthology of writings and artwork drawn from 40 years of his influential magazine. I don't have that. But I had the other books. I had Apprentice Wizard. I had the Companion of the Apprentice Wizard. I had Creating Circle Ceremony, a Wizard's Bestiary. But I still need to get the Green Egg Omelet, which looks like it has all of his writings. That's what I need to get. Then I'd have the whole collection. We got Karen Kaser, Master of Pupils. We got a professor. We got a professor, and instructor. And that is a freaking owl. That is a living. He's a falconer, it looks like. He's got an owl. That's falconer. He must be I'm going to guess he teaches something to do with animals, because why would he have his owl on here? Born into the herbal healing traditions of the Navajo Nation. Yup. Instructors. We got more instructors. So this page has gotten quite a... No, it's not more expansive than before. There's just a lot more detail than before. They did not have that big a description the last time I was on here, like 20 years ago, or 15. No, it had to be close to 20 years. There's literally nothing on here with the books. Why would they not have that? Why would they not have his books? I am 99.99999% sure I cannot join that Discord. It's only got 94 members, so I'm not even gonna bother. They're gonna immediately. Well, I'm sure they're gonna be notified I joined it, so I'm not gonna waste my time. Events October 19th on 123 Pulteney Street. For 4 days in October, High Spear Manor becomes a living campus. Fires are lit earlier, meals are shared longer. The school steps fully into the season together. Expect full days, good food, cool evenings by the fire, long conversations, laughter, and those wizarding conclave vibes. Learn more! Let's find out. That's what we get. That looks like an actual... That doesn't look like AI. That's like a physical place. Oh, yes, it is a physical place. It's in New York. And if I were you, if you're going to troll this place, don't even bother. They would totally annihilate you with their magical powers. And trust me, I felt... Oh, I guess I don't know if the founder's alive, but when I told him about... When my friend Dale met him, the only thing he could mention was like, oh, I've got all this great and vast unknowable powers. Well, Oberon did not show an ounce of freaking fear and probably laughed at him. Says, I used to clean up college dorms from people like you. And he told him how I don't know if it was Berkeley. I don't know if he stayed at Berkeley or what, or which campus. He never actually told me where. But he did clean up a dorm room of Necronomicon bullshit. And I was like, Daniel, you better back off. This is a real wizard. This is the real people. Okay, it's 2 PPs. It's a PP apprentice for the... Okay, let me just look up the dude. Oberon... Oh, there we go, Mary. Let's see what the fucking Wikipedia says. Is the guy still alive? Oh, it looks like he is. He's 83 years old. This thing still says he's alive. He's not dead. Born in St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri. Years active, 1967 to present. Yeah, he's still alive. Church, yeah, this all talks about all this stuff. Even the Great School of Wizardry is mentioned in here. I am not going to read that because I don't want to embarrass the greatest wizard of all. I'm not going to embarrass the greatest wizard in human history. I'm not reading that. Morning Glory. What? He outlived his freaking wife. She was so sweet. I liked her. I met Morning Glory. She was pretty. I loved her. She was like, she had that mother energy to her. I really liked her a lot. She was all love. She was all love. Yeah, it looks like she passed away. Doesn't say when. After Morning Glory in October 2015, he moved in with a couple of Santa Cruz where he opened the center in town called the Academy of Arcana. And that has nothing to do with the. It doesn't say when his wife died. I'm not going to go into it. Morning Glory. Holy shit! I met her within a year, like within a couple years of her passing. She passed in 2014. I was living with my aunt, and I moved to San Francisco in '09. So she died young, 65. Holy crap. Well, I guess magic doesn't give you infinite power after all. I thought it did. But a horse, wizards know they believe in the cycle of life and transitioning to the next world. Okay. Oh, there we go. I found it. I found the name of the book. Yep, there it is. I can get them on Amazon now. And it is a paperback's only $9.99. That's actually not bad. Holy crap! It's 288 pages. The companion is 288 pages, and my book is 285. Holy crap! I am 100% sure if I ever actually do get a hold of, God damn it, what the guy's name? The guy with the doll, dude. Fuck, I forgot what his name was. But yeah, I can't find any. I can't even get to my YouTube to even find the guy's names. Like, oh, I fucking hate it when that happens. I'm gonna instantly resist until I fucking find out that name. Tibbs TV. Tibbs TV. He's gonna give me those 3 pages to reach page 288. I know he's gonna bring me to 288 on my book. I know it for a fact. If I ever get a hold of Tibbs TV, he is gonna bring the Pan Mythica to 288 pages. I'm only missing 3. And that's about all I need. That's really all I need. A picture of my doll, or a picture of his doll if he's willing to volunteer that. I need something I can actually control because I can't go to Real Doll and just take a picture off of there to get a picture of a silicone doll. But either he or I provide a picture of a life-size humanoid doll for the image, and then I'm going to go into details about puppet magic, which I currently do not have. Puppet magic is one of the Sorhonic types of magic. Sorhonic magic is, I think it might be the largest section in here, actually. Because I never filled in any of those sections nearly as bad, except for elf magic, which deals with the Urash. So I think him giving me puppet magic is going to make the Sorhonic section rival that of the elves with the Sorhonic, or I mean with the Urash. But, so we're just going to have a quick look. We're going to go back to my book. We're supposed to be on my book, but we're looking at a real master of magic. It's like, dude, Oberon Zell Ravenheart is a real master of magic. Like, Earth's, like, master of literal magic. I had some of these books. I had this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. So I had 5. But this one, I don't know. I've never seen it. The member handbook, I've never seen. I've never actually seen the member handbook. Or Death Rights, or no, I have seen that one. I didn't need it. But that the green eggs omelet, I really want. I really want the green eggs omelet. Like, I want that in my hands. Because this guy is like real magical genius. He actually rivals. No, I actually think he surpasses me by a gazillion. He far surpasses me when it comes to like magical books and stuff. He's written so much stuff, and he's been writing stuff for 20 years longer than I've even been alive. Wikipedia says he's been writing for 67 years? A long time. So what is this? That's in Spanish, it looks like. So it looks like this stuff's been translated, so that's saved. Well, back to my book, my masterpiece. Tonight is supposed to be between Hogwarts. I have so lost track here. This is supposed to be between Hogwarts and the Sacred School of the Prophecy. And Oberon is so freaking badass. He took like an hour of my time here. So let's get back to like what this book is. The single book that would mop the floor with freaking Hogwarts. This one book alone could mop the floor with Hogwarts. Because what I learned that Hogwarts doesn't really invent magic. Nobody is like researching magic. And I showed the channel earlier. And one of the videos talks about that they have no innovation. They just stick strictly to tradition without really inventing magic. Like students here and there, they were growing up with muggles that were like in fields of science or whatever that had like access to logic. And it was mentioned, I don't even know what her name was, but whatever. We're just going to go on with this. So we talk about the different religions. We're on this side right now, which is we got the religious phase. We got a list. There's a list here. And now we start actually getting into the religions. As you can see, these are like, I don't know, that's about 14 pages. Not big. We got Pathadian. That's your My Little Pony universe. It basically is My Little Pony. We got the Heraldic, which is a little over 10, like 12 pages. But the elf magic is where it really gets huge. There's just a ton. I'm pretty sure I'm missing chapters in here. I could try to obtain those chapters, but they're not going to do a whole lot of good. Simply because they only have, like, I think one system of magic in their book, in their religion. So I probably would only be adding rules and philosophies mostly. I don't know what other lore I'm missing. I haven't even the slightest idea because most of this religion is extinct for the most part. But I got the elf magic, which goes from page 90 all the way to 134. That's like 44 pages of material. So it's this Urash. The Urash really is a big chunk here. Because it actually has multiple religions within it, a lot of religions. So we're gonna go past all that. You got the Urash. The Urash is the beef. This is the weapon. 108 to 117 is Urash. Actually, from 20. So what is that like? It's big enough. It's like 12 pages alone. So the Urash is like the most dangerous part of the entire book. I'm not sure if I really give a whole lot on how to like write spells. I can give like basics on it. I'm pretty sure the full Key to Signa version book are probably 500 pages. It's probably a freaking London phone book or something with like that thin newsprint paper. Because there's a lot I don't even have but I do have the naming ritual for naming a god. Yeah. Like I said, this book is what I use to literally name King Cobra, the god of heavy metal. Psionic magic is a weapon of mass destruction. You can create the spells in English. There's blood magic. Blood magic is permanent. Once you do it, you can forget about undoing it because you can't. So I got making rings. I actually got some stuff in here for creating magical items, like a ring of power. Here's gates, lesser gate, the greater gate. So there's stuff in here. At the very end, lesson 8. Well, I think under Mitro, it is literally an 8-year course. Because you're literally going into temples and practicing spells and using these religions. I believe, but he's told me it goes through within 1 year. So it may I'll have to go dig it up. I'm not going to do that tonight. I don't care. But I think given the length of the book and and the tasks involved, I think you could do it within 2 to 3 years. So it may just be a 1 or 2 year course. So. And we got lesson 9 is just illuminations. We go down here, you're just going to find passages. This part it's just passages. That's all it is. And it gives you a note about what it means. That's all the ending is just passages and what they mean. So we're going to actually go through this thing. The insanity of the friggin' prophecy. Or what we call the basics of magic. The Pan Mythica 3, which is, I might switch the order of the books to be their order. And add my Earthling notes to the end of this. Because what magic is, this explains that magic is probability enhancement. So a lot of it doesn't really go into depth. You're expected to take a major and then dive into it with like research and all that shit through the rest of the prophecy. The other books, 40 some odd books that are in here, or I guess 30. I don't know, it was like 37 books after that go into the actual prophecy. There's 36 books. 35 since this isn't a book. That's just text. There's 35 books that I currently have here. So that the planes of spiritual reality, which Oberon does not even cover like planes of reality. He doesn't cover that in anything I've ever read. So this is something he doesn't even have. Actually, a lot of stuff in here he doesn't have. If the guy's alive, I actually want him to see this thing. I may actually pull the Uresh out of it before I even send it to him, because I don't want him trying to find antidotes to that, because it's just going to start a spiritual war. If he tries to try to find antidotes to the Uresh, which there's not supposed to be anything, because it mangles everything I cast spells on. Like Mitch McConnell's in a freaking coma, got hospitalized. Venezuela had an earthquake. China had a dam burst. Like all this happened within 1 week, and all I did was cast the MAGA curse, which is the most powerful Uresh curse ever written. And I don't think I even read it correctly when I did it. So when we go to grade entities, which Oberon doesn't even have. This is stuff I didn't even have. I wrote this after last time I met him. So this is stuff I need to update him on. That was like, there's like all these ancient pagan deities. It's like, how powerful are they really? Like, what powers do they have, and how powerful are they? Like, this should be in the bestiary. Like, how powerful these entities are, and like, and come up with solutions on how to deal with them when you encounter these things in the spirit realm, because these things still exist, and there's still traditions out there that deal with combating spiritual beings. So this has psychic awareness, prophecy, which is like their ability to see the future, channeling, how easy they are to channel, I guess their ability to channel, summoning, their ability to summon more entities, manifesting, their ability to affect reality, and their spirit level overall, their overall spirit level. So I guess that's the max, and you add all these up, you get this number. You add all these up, you get that one, and it goes so forth. It maxes out at 144, I think. It's like you got the values, you add them all the way up. No, let me see what this says, spirit level. Spirit level is a separate number entirely. That's what it is. Like there's each entity, there's like classes of entities, and this covers what their classes are. The spirit level is like a class, like if it's a low rank, high rank, or whatever. Yeah, if its value is over 80, entity will be hard to banish. So you got 30, 50, 70, 90, 110, 130s. It tells you how fucked up they'd be. So let me skip to some part that has entities. Okay, there's knee, earth. So you got all the levels. So it's a B rank. So it would be, so it's like each one of these is a rank. Each of those letters come from that previous section. So it's 56 of 144. 144 is the maximum. So here it actually explains it a little further down. There's all the dimensions. So here's the levels of what they mean. Psychic awareness, you get a feeling of being watched in an empty room. You know when someone is staring at you from across the room filled with people. So that's kind of what it is. So it just describes what they can do. It says you have tuned into your natural intuition and trust your gut feeling every time. These feelings are usually right about a situation. Yeah. So the most confusing one would probably be spirit levels. So here's what the spirit levels actually mean. That's the most confusing one on here. So the weakest one is ghosts, orbs, weak thought forms, and it goes to angels, or angry ghosts, orbs, weak fae, strong thought forms. Then we got low-rank demons, fae, and elementals. A is mid-rank demons, royal fae, demigods, and angels. And that's not even the highest one. Angels aren't even the highest. There's S and then X. So you got S, high-rank demons, gods, and archangels. And then we got X, the worst of the worst, things you're not going to get rid of. Primal forces, creator gods, and destroyer gods. This is what Christianity will never tell you. Creator God is on there, like God, like from the Bible. And then what's not in the Bible is the destroyer God that is his equal and polaric opposite. You're never going to hear about that in the Bible. You cannot banish X class. There's no way to banish that shit. Okay, just S class, which is even the highest one, can affect the entire world. These beings have a cosmic plan and can affect the entire world. These beings seldom appear to mortals unless it's part of their greater mysterious plan. These beings will appear as bright as a star or some hideous creature if they're evil. They can alter the physics of the material world. And when you go even higher than that, these are the beings that have the master. These are the beings that have the master plan. They are the most powerful and can affect the cosmic plan to their wills. They can create life from inanimate materials, like God created man from clay. or earth or soil or whatever. They can create souls. These beings never show themselves unless it is part of their plan to be seen. The appearance these beings take is unknown. They write the laws of physics and are the architects and builders of universes. So here we got the freaking levels. Like I was saying earlier, there's the levels, what they are. So now I know what spirit level means and why it has such a big value. So that's why it has such big value. That's why the value is equal to everything else combined. So, and here's how you deal with these things. The highest level, 130, these entities are fully omnipotent and cannot be stopped by anything. 110 cannot be removed by any means. If provoked, can kill the host. Okay, 90, I guess between 90 and 100 and 109, seek out an exorcist that works with the divine light or benevolent God. Of course, it's caps locked or capitalized. This will require days of battle with the entity. The entity will try to drag the host with it. There will be a lot of physical, spiritual activity. So yeah, they do go to insane levels. So here's a description of what these things are: thoughts, ghosts. Yeah, there's a lot about ghosts, and we got orbs, phase. So yeah, Oberon doesn't even cover this section either. And this is stuff that is in the material. This is stuff that's on Earth. Thought forms. He mentions thought forms. He mentions how to create them. But he doesn't mention ghosts that much, or orbs. I don't think he talks that much about orbs either. He does mention the Fae and the Elementals. He mentions them plenty of times and how to not piss them off. He does mention demons and daemons. He mentions those. I'm not sure. I don't think he mentions demigods. He knows about God, but he doesn't. I don't know how much his book really contains about that. Not a whole lot. And then we go to the primal forces, the highest force of them all. Very few worlds or civilizations ever come up with or discover the concept of primal chaos. The primal chaos is a chaos native to all universes where mathematical order can be created. Almost nothing is known but such a deity, as even we have only theorized its existence. Well, that's actually changed. The Rokot need to update that. The Rokot, well, there's several systems of elements in here. We have the Rokot system of elements. It has fire, lightning, wind, water, ice. There's ice, darkness, and light. So that's the Rokot elements. We got the regular elements from the elves, the Venori, which are known to the pagans on Earth, the Wiccans and shit. Earth, air, fire, water, and spirits. We got that. Element associations. There's descriptions of them, like the weak. You got Earth. There's the colors. There's the descriptions. You got Earth, yellow, wind. So you got the weakness, their weaknesses, and their resistances. Like I said, this book is I said in the comment, Sacred School of Prophecy teaches combat magic, and that's why you have a weakness and a resistance for each of the elements, because you're going to need to know that. Especially if you're going to be battling things like that. Spirit, black or white, weakness, none, resistance, all. The Rokot Zodiac. This is a book from Kitasuna, so of course you're going to have the Rokot Zodiac. They've only got 4 signs. They only got 4 months to deal with. The seasons. They have a moon, but to them it doesn't mean shit. Well, it's colonized, so whatever. Sign of wind gives you a description of people who are born, or a little bit of a description of what it's like to be born under the signs. There's no in-depth here. There's going to be secondary material that I don't have. It covers all this stuff. Of course, I can expand this and just go insane. But I'm not going to do that here. It's like I'm not ready to do that, so I can... Okay, where is the zoom at? Like, shit. I want you to see the image. So you see what the types are. Spirit manifestation types, feelings or channeling. There's nothing to take a picture of, but image type, that's a black mirror. You go to smoke type, there's something in the smoke right there. You have to, like, you can see it, yeah, it's pretty obvious. There's a man's face in the mirror. Or at least the nose and his mouth are really easy to see. There's fire. You ain't gonna mistake that for like being regular fire. That fire is evil. So we got spiritual imprints. These are inside of crystals, like quartz crystals actually. You shine a laser in a quartz crystal and just use your wall as a backdrop for the image to appear on. You can see if there's something trapped inside that crystal you can set free. So you got white ectoplasm. So yeah, we got mixed type ectoplasm. So there's a shadow in there, but it's lit up. And then you got black, I guess it's dark ectoplasm. And yeah, that's pretty obvious. You ain't gonna mistake that. You see that in your hallway, you better run like hell. And there's the alter material. And I said alter material, I mean that is literally screwing with the shape of my wall. Like that is my wall. And they're literally like made out of the wall. Like the wall changed shape. And there's literally things in the wall, like bending the wall. And then of course there's physical. Yeah, that's gotta be horrifying. Like that's a physical manifestation, and then you got sword of light. Like a literal sword of light. Okay, that is God's sword of light, but that's the real thing. But in this case, it happens to just be the sword of chaos, something whose instructions I believe are in here. I don't think I included the sword of chaos. That would easily add the remaining 3 pages. I'm not going to give actually, it wouldn't matter if I did tell you how to make the sword of chaos. You can't acquire mana crystals. You can't find those on Earth. So we got possessions. And of course, there's photographs of that. So we got literally all the different types of entities that can possess you, which Oberon should have covered because this is another danger. So we got, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Some kind of, it says spider demon. Eliankabut Shaitan. Arabic for spider demon. Unnatural creature will spin a web that entraps the souls of the dead that are near this being's lair. Yeah, pretty horrifying. You got banshees, you got something called a brown or brownies. Apparently those do exist. I thought they were only in the movie Willow, but no, they're based on something real. It's Digashiko. That's from the, I guess if it has a star by it, it's from the prophecy. I guess this is far enough. Digashiko, that's from the prophecy. Possesses mortals. Quite extremely dangerous. You got Jinn. You got something called a feeder. This type of entity most often portrays itself as a monster in the closet or under the bed to frighten children. Feeders create fear, stress, and anxiety in order to feed upon the energy. They are not often dangerous, but can be if they are sent by a particularly powerful host, by a ranking demon or evil spirit. So yeah, feeders can actually be dangerous. Rakashanamakana. This is the worst type of entity one can encounter when working with magic. They are the most powerful race of malevolent evil in this universe and are out for blood and power. They are relatively easy to work with, but they must be approached with a pure heart and virgin body, or else possession can take place. Possession by this race of beings is impossible to rectify. So only virgins can encounter Rakshasa and be safe. We got Rakshasa and Rakshasi. They're Hindu, from Hindu mythology. We got the Shenke and the Shenva. Well, my prime god is a Shenva, and they're listed on here. They are a race of descendant from Kalar, the celestial hell. They are a black mist filled with sentient hatred, malice, and corruption. They like cold places in the north and south where snow clings to the land. They only bring their personalities out in people and awaken evil in the hearts of mortals. They do not possess people, but watching yourself for changes can catch their tactics. Staying on a path of light thwarts their evil ways. Hell, there's the Shamora, little evil. I think they're a type of Venorian demon. So we got skinwalkers, succubus, wendigos, and yakshas. So we got, yeah, like I said, I got everything in here. We got light body manifestation. You can see me right there glowing like a glowworm. So that's obviously real. Then we got dark body manifestation. There's my friend Daniel with like shadows coming out of him. Even though there's a light on the wall, there's still a shadow covering it coming out of the sides of him right there. Like literal shadows and shit. But you got a physical body transformation. There's my friend, completely transformed and glowing eyes and everything. Just pure evil. That's like absolute evil. Yeah, the entity will take full control of the sorcerer if it is allowed to possess him. The entity possessing the sorcerer will feed off his life force and from those around him. Yeah, so they physically transform. You're fucked. Get out of the room and just run. Okay. I've had people pretend to be channeling prophecy entities that I've channeled, like Jacoba and such. And this gives you little bits of information how to discern if it's real or not. And I may have to add some stuff on here because... Did I actually mention this? I think I did. Sexual references. In Rokai tradition, sex is only meant to take place within the context of a marriage. A Rokai will never tell a channeler to have sex, even with their wife. We will leave that to your discretion, as this is from a point of view of a Rokai. Another vital area to cover is that this will expose demonic frauds. No Rokai will ever engage in anal, oral, or otherwise non-reproductive sex. Doing so is a violation of religious law. Well, in religious law, it's a death penalty. So it's really insane. And it is covered in here. It's covered in one of these books about Rokai law. But there is one section that needs to be added. And I can probably fill an entire page on here with current moral issues in the United States, like abortion, references to abortion, homosexuality, and transgenderism, and the family. Those are things I can put in here. But I would think just to mention, since every demon always tells you to have anal, oral, or non-reproductive sex, that kind of covers everything. Because homosexual is non-reproductive sex. So that does cover that. Handling of prisoners. Capturing a POW is something taken seriously. Holding cells will be windowless and usually oubliettes inside a fortified facility with around-the-clock guards. The prisoner or prisoners are watched. This is actually that must have come up a lot. Okay, marriage and cheating. Marriage is expected for all women, all males, unless mentally disabled, will have multiple wives. Cheating during marriage is almost unheard of and is punishable by death of an unlawful wife and the sterilization of their illegitimate heirs. So yeah, I can cover today's moral issues if I really wanted to. So someone claims that random languages. Here's a couple of words that prove the language is bullshit. But since it's written here, that just went out the window. Birth order giveaways, historical inaccuracies. This area is mostly for sorcerers who have been offered places and hold titles of lives lived on Kitasuna. Many of us desire a grandiose past with a palace and a mighty empire, but there are certain facts that cannot be overlooked. The Roka Empire was never divided between various supreme emperors. The greatest division of the Roka took place between Kitasuna and Paradab-Moku. The supreme emperor Genie Hikara had a political falling out with the emperor as a whole for his liberal policies. Well, those liberal policies aren't actually that liberal. They make Trump look like a liberal. They're that conservative still. And the Roka consider Trump to be a liberal. Just shows how conservative they actually are. Parada, being a conservative world, was tasked with leading the Rokan Empire, waiting for Kitasuna and its leaders to get a grip on things. The Rokan Empire will never be divided. During sessions, a sorcerer might receive information claiming they were a great leader. Below the Supreme Emperor and his government are prefectures. There are over 1,000 of these on Kitasuna. The major prefectures are accounted for, so unless you are already a prefect, the likelihood of being a major player is absolute zero. That has been a major problem in the past. Anyone partaking in a channeling group about Kitasuna must take into account the stories of the prophecy and that they are fixed fact and cannot change. There are no kings and queens among the Rokat. They are Venori or one of the other eldritch races. If the story you receive during a session does not fit with established canon, then it is false. Yes, there are holes, and new material must fit into these and be verified by this school or some other major institution of occult learning. Major players for the Rokat, at least all the major players in history, are accounted for. The highest level one can claim is a prefect, and even most of them have purchased immortality from the centralized imperial government. Even most wealthy Roka have purchased immortality from the government. The largest holes in the prophecy story takes place during the first and second ages. It was a relatively quiet period in our history where the largest wars were fought homeside. Expansion of the Rokan Empire was mostly done by diplomacy. So yeah, your grandiose stories channelers are false. You're not a Rokat king. There never was one. They have emperors, and all of them are accounted for. I think there's like 650,000 of them, and every single one of them is accounted for. The largest community of past life experiences will be those of the conquered and Rokat soldiers and civilians. So yeah, you're just a grunt. That's the highest rank anyone can claim, but it has to be proven within the stories of the prophecy. So it will be challenged. There is other area where past lives are made, and that is from the point of view of space piracy and the illegal trade of enslaved Rokat. Yeah, it does exist. I don't know much about it. There's probably something somewhere. Many of those souls have been released from the Empire. Both the enslaved and slavers have departed. These tortured souls wander the universe outside the Empire, being pushed further as expansion brings back traumatic memories. Oh my god, this thing's freaking long. I'm not even going to continue. We're going to look at effective reading of the prophecy. The prophecy, there's like the title, the author's name. Janie's writing is in red, just like Jesus is red in the Bible. Janie is red. That's what that is. We got channeling laws. We got this title. We got the participants. Number 2 is the participants. You got a subtitle, and then you got the actual the actual conversations. Then we got the numbering system that's in my channeling logs on the computer. Like you look at the history of the Rokot Empire, you're going to know it gives you the name of the book they're in. And there's the titles right there. They're right there. Even though 5.6 is not here, it should be because it's just literally that old. 5.6 wasn't even written yet. This is like the first part of the book. This is like right after I met Oberon in real life. I started creating this book. I started obtaining it and getting material and stuff. Like this is my section here. I think it even says so. Oh yeah, this is my chapter. This is my chapter. See, there's my name. This is my chapter. This is something I added. And here we go. Ritual posters. Mitra Hutaki provided the text. And of course, I'm the pictures. Yeah, I was a lot cuddlier back then. I was more huggable. Well, these are the postures that are used in the prophecy. Those are the names of the postures. Correct way to burn an offering. That's how you want it to look like a tent. The flame starts on the corner. It burns pretty cleanly. So altar types. You got a regular altar. Oh my god, there actually is a lot of altars in here. There's natural found. I could put graphics on at least natural found. I do know there's a natural altar in San Francisco. Stone manufactured, I don't have. Metal manufactured, I don't have. Or even that's a contemporary style used by those inclined, I guess, synthetic feel. Temples in a synthetic feel, like modern type architecture. So we got animal sacrifices, doves and chickens, cats and dogs, goats and cows, human sacrifice. Now we're getting to like illegal territory. Had to include because Rokot used to sacrifice humans until they started sacrificing Pathadians. Well, heart's in the same place. It's up in the chest. I believe it's actually in the same place, like literally. So I'd have to look at the anatomy of a Rokot to see what side it's actually on. So now we're going to go to religious phase. I'm not going to go into any detail whatsoever here. I'm just going to kind of scroll through this. So we've got Temple of Serenity. These are the Pathadian temples. Temple of Temptation. That's nasty. Order of Temptation. Nasty. Temple of Sri and Cam. They're patriotic and they're badass awesome. Temple of Jacoba, that's basically worshiping Donald Trump, but on freaking steroids, meth, crack, and every drug on earth. So if you're going to do anything, worship in the Temple of Jacoba, because that'll make you awesome. Okay, heraldic face, 7 of the circle of the 7 stars, eye of light. Oh, it's a minor movement. Okay. I have to find out more about the Eye of Light. I don't remember what the hell that even came from. Clan of the Red Wings, that's pretty cool. Cool name. Venorian Face, Venori Sovereign Movement. Well, they're terrorists. Venori Sovereign Movement are terrorists. They're like, I don't know, Democrats, basically. They're like international terrorists all over Kitasuna. Covenant of Blood Fang, Covenant of the Iron Hand, Enugan Way. Yeah, it's just Zari Cults of Personality. It's just covens and crap. Asvak Kelar. Yeah, don't want to mess with those people. There's a cult that worships the evil god by his birth name. Yeah, I'm not even going to say the evil god's name. You'll just hear it when I cast spells and not know which words it is. We got the Gematut, the Kina cults, the Iwa faiths. Okay, yeah, we got this one's scary. Coven of Blood Raven. And I believe they do actually still exist on Earth. Because they're on Earth. That's where this coven comes from. That's a coven that's supposed to be on Earth. So that's pretty scary. We got Celestials, Avian Brotherhood. It's a group of humans raised by Jacoba. and they literally live in Shikodu, and I've actually met them in person. They physically exist. I've met them in person. That one I've met in person. Blood Raven I've met in person. So two of these I have actually met physically. So you got the Sirhonic phase. This stuff's gonna get scary. Sauron's Travesty isn't that scary. It says the Youth Coven. The Temple of Demons, that thing's pretty messed up. Cult of Manu and the Cult of Shimura, they are nightmare fuel. Surrounding Order, it's nightmare fuel, but Shimura, I think, is probably one of the scariest ones on here. Order of the Four Winds and Order of the Nine, they're probably the most powerful. Other groups, some of these aren't even magical. We got the 9th Legion, the 12th Legion. We got legions that do various things. There's quite a few of those. Black Dragon Lodge. It's an archery group, so like completely not magical. Blue Sun Rising is a literal metal band. I don't even know why it's in here, but it's a metal band, like music. Like King Cobra JFS would join them. He would love Blue Sun Rising. One of my channels went to their concert and it fucking it was badass. It's the kind of stuff that would put Ozzy to shame. And Ozzy would probably try to join him if he ever heard it. Grand Lodge is a hunting lodge. I want to join it. Harem Club, it's perverted. Hellfire Council. What the hell? Jacoba Jubilee, and again, as a coalition against the common enemies, the GFL and Ilera. That doesn't even exist anymore. Imperial Lodge is a luxury hunting lodge. Man God. There's a bunch of egotistical psychopaths. Order of Chaos, Order of the Black Snake, Order of the Night's Watch. What are they? Estate Ridge Task Force. That's scary. Tri-Flame Council is basically the governing body of the Rokot Empire. The Victory Lodge is pretty awesome. I love them. I want to join them. Thadian Magic. I'm only going to do a couple of these because I'm literally not very far in the book. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm actually going to cut this short and only cover the philosophy of love. Basically, these perverts create a religion. Well, they created billions of years ago, but they did influence the creation of My Little Pony, according to my channel logs, along with several other children's shows on Earth, to indoctrinate children into believing their bullshit. Well, now those kids have grown up and became a bunch of purple-haired, rainbow-haired leftists, so that's what it turned into. So that's basically what this Pythadian stuff is. It's a bunch of leftists on a rampage. So we got compassion, truth, devotion, charity, laughter, magic, and serenity. They have, looks like, 7 elements. They don't even have a dark element. There's no negativity whatsoever in there. So there's the double star they use as their floor sigils. I can only imagine that being pieces of stone inlaid in the floor somewhere. It'll probably look like a freaking rainbow for all I know, given what they are. Disgusting. Basic altar, an altar bowl. That's what their offering looks like. The Serenity Heart's a heart pointed up and down. It's 2 hearts with a figure 8 in the middle, so an infinity sign in the middle of it. So there's the altar set up. And that's a very well used, that's a very well loved altar bowl. It's been used to burn a lot of things. It's the symbol of Pythade. 2 hearts superimposing the humps on top of each other to form an infinity sign. I can only imagine a gay community picking that up. I don't know if they want duality. They love to be all freaking psychotic. So I don't know if they would pick up a symbol of duality with infinity. I'm not sure they would. I can only see what would happen. So we're going to skip past this religion for the most part. The rules of Bethade. Charity, not allowing. Well, the rules are supposedly pretty damn good. If they only weren't run by a bunch of perverts. Not allowing charity, not allowing greed for the material to run your life. It is okay to be rich, but not greed to the point you would allow the acquisition of wealth be the goal. If you have excess, you are expected to share the wealth with those in your circle of emotional attachments. Not openly, only with your circle of emotional attachments. So it's not Christ. So you're only expected to share it with those you actually know. Like if you know Bill Gates personally, if he was a Pathadian, he'd be expected to share it with you, but only with those he personally knows. Truth, not allowing the truth to be distorted or altered. Well, that's bullshit. They broke their own BS long ago. They're expected to not hide the truth either. The premise is that the truth is always found and revealed in openness and confronted head on. Yeah, look what happened to Gavin Newscomb. He got confronted head on. The truth hit him on the head pretty freaking hard. Laughter's obvious. Devotion's obvious. To not be astray. Well, devotion's kind of not obvious. Laughter, not allowing violations of the other rules to hurt you and to heal with laughter. The idea is to use laughter to heal and to celebrate the positive things in life and to not focus on the negative. Okay, this is just getting... Well, there's the 7 commandments. Lust. There shall be no lust other than love with the Lord of your faith. No member of the temple of serenity shall seek out other gods out of the lust of their beautiful... Oh my god, yeah, their beautiful bodies. Well, their gods are sexy as fuck, so yeah. So there shall be no lazy above that which the master has earned. No member shall find love and prosperity without working for it. So for the most part, it's not bad. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing. The religion is My Little Pony on meth. Not crack. Just My Little Pony on meth. Just there's no horses in this religion. Not at all. But all the principles, all the stuff they believe is in here. But Temple of the Stream Camp, that's Jacoba. It completely flies in the face of the other stuff. Laws of boat owners, yeah, that's Jacoba's temple. So yeah, it talks about the imperial family. It has nothing to do with the Pathadians at all. It's just Jacoba. Only through me shall you find true salvation, and by no other God except me shall you have a future. Yeah, see, that's Jacoba. That is Jacoba. Sexual conduct. The outcome of a rumor of rape shall be humiliation of your clan and sterilization of your seed. The outcome of rape of a common woman shall be castration and branding on the forehead with the word rapist, which I don't know what the word rapist in Rokot is, so it'd be whatever that is in Rokot. The outcome of rape of a clergy woman shall be death by being eaten alive by the very clergy you defiled. Yeah, that's Jacoba 100%. The outcome of the rape of a child shall be death by vivisection. That's being opened up alive, if you want to know. Vivisection is being dissected alive and having your organs removed while you're still alive and using them. That's the punishment on Kitasuna for being a child predator. Is vivisection. I would advise not actually looking that up on Google, because you're going to see animals and stuff like that opened up and not dead. This is heraldic magic. This is, like I said, you got the gist of what each of these chapters is going to be. It just covers each and every religion from that point forward in the same manner. It gives you like spells, there's laws of each religion. Elf magic is the same shit. There's the altar. Still uses the double star, by the way, which is kind of unusual. Can't imagine how they would make it look. Tools of elf magic. You got mirror, candles, and athame, an evil dark crystal of doom. There's me sitting in front of the most simple system, elven chants. It's just a black candle on an altar. Sit in front of a black candle. And you got demon mirrors, how to make demon mirrors. Here's how you can modify it. There's the original, and you can modify it and make it more crazy. Sigils. This is when you get fucking completely crazy. You can completely destroy yourself with these sigils. Not going to go to what any of this shit means because I don't want you destroying yourselves. There's a gate sigil. Yes, that's a black mirror, and yes, I've had smoke literally pour out of that thing. It's evil. And there's a video on here somewhere, or maybe it got lost, where I actually showed images of that thing pouring out smoke. I actually never made a black mirror of this sigil. I don't even know what it does. I know it opens doors. Unknown scripts. It gets pretty crazy. Then we go to High Venori magic, which is basically the High Elven magic. So we got, there's the mirror. There's the mirror Christian created in the book itself, Mirror of Elara. It has a good and negative aspect to it. And it literally has the ritual and how to actually do it. And there's the altar with no floor sigil. Setting up a Venori key ritual. The Venori keys. Not something anyone should be messing with. Urash. Truly, nobody should be messing with this. Oh yeah. You're not going to get to read that. Screw you. I'm not going to let people destroy the entire universe or try to conquer the earth. That's my job. Urash magic. Pretty simple stuff. But you can also use the Celestial Mojo. Contains my entire magical history in crystals. There's the written language, what it looks like. There's an example of the writing. Even though I've gone through that before. There's discernment, channeling. It tells you how to like create words and all that. And here's what the actual words, here's what the letters, the name of the character, pronunciation is S. It's the S sound. Name of the character is Say or Saw. It really depends. I guess there may be dialects. Who knows? The Shenva are not a very numerous people, so they may only have one dialect. So maybe I'll have to ask them if it's Say. I'll have to put the pronunciation on those so you have the correct pronunciations. I'll have to update that later. So this tells you what the letters, their sounds are. And actually the name of the word, the name of the letter. Yeah. Venori keys, and it goes back to the keys explain. I think I put that in the wrong. I have to reorder these probably because I had a ritual about Venori keys, and I switch over to this, and there's initiation rites. So yeah, I think I should switch those. There's a ring of cursing, so there's some pretty evil stuff in here, and there's actual rings, magical rings. There it is. Skip all of that so you can't. No, I'm not going to let you see that because it's too powerful. I am definitely not letting anybody read that. I am not going to give anyone the power to freaking name a god. Celestial magic, same shit, except for you got different tools. Got a Dorje in this system of magic, and only 4 elements, not 6. And there's the Celestial Mojo. The crystal's the Celestial Mojo. That's how it was made. One of the ways it was made. I think that might have been how it was made. Yeah, that's how it was made. So you have to set up how to use the crystals effectively and make them dangerous. Celestial crystals and weapons. So yeah, it was literally a soul literally falling into the fiery pits of hell. A wailing, screaming demon. So yeah, pretty scary shit. Dealing with crystals and things that are trapped in them. This book, it's too bad the guy's 85 fucking years old. He is not going to be alive to create or add this to his books. Because there is so much material in here that he never covers. So, let me turn this around. I need to get the booze. I need my Dwinkies. So, we're going to load up. Gonna load up Buttercup Baby. So once we get through scrolling the Sorhonic and maybe have a little look at some of the stuff at the end of the book, I'm just gonna call this video. I'm gonna call this video done. It's long enough. 2 hours, getting close to 2.5 hours here. I think we're gonna well over it. Might go to 2 hours and 40 by the time I get through with this thing. So I'll just be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Let's put that camera back on the most dangerous black book in the history of the human race. I'm not sure if Oberon's even going to want to know me if he actually reads this book. Like, actually sits down and reads it. Because the stuff in here is so insanely, just the Uresh material is so insanely dangerous. He is probably going to try in vain to come up with some kind of antidote to that kind of insanity, because primordial chaos doesn't have an antidote. There is no effective exorcism for shit like that. Sauronism is fucked up on its own, but it is nowhere near as scary as Uresh. And Azeron's Awakening, Candle, Elements, the Hellements, because we're literally dealing with evil versions of these. Yeah, Candle represents the element of fire, and it is corrupted for the element of hatred, element of greed, the element of vengeance, and the element of malice. Where's the white one? There is only 4. There's supposed to be an element of. There's supposed to be a literal element of corruption in here. Oh, it's the element of malevolence. That's what spirit is when it's corrupted to evil. Twisted into the element of malice, of malevolence. So we got the dagger of Siorhan. That's the Egyptian. It's the closest thing I can come up with to whatever. It looks badass, so I got it. The only time I ever mentioned the pillow to sit on, instead of sitting on a hard floor, I think it's the only time I ever mentioned the pillow. To sit on a fucking pillow. Blood rituals. There's my dead brother, the one that drowned in the lake. Died a horrible death. That's how he got annihilated. That's literally the picture from the ritual that actually killed him. One of many. attempts, but Jacob was the one that actually did it. Jacoba took all the glory. I wanted the glory, but Jacoba did it. There's a black mirror. There's a black mirror with a sigil on it. Basic setup for the ritual. Pretty basic. Looks pretty average. Like an average fucking ritual. Sarhonic ritual explained. So yeah, there it is. Like, gives you descriptions of what each step is with the incantations. I'm not going to put them in roll call because that would just make them even more dangerous. I actually have casted spells. At least I've done one of these in the Rokot language, and that I think that might have been the night that I destroyed Haiti in 2010. Like literally destroyed the entire country. So do not, even if you do manage to find the languages, do not even try to translate spells into Rokot because it's not intended as a magical language, but oh hell, it works as one. It's like Kitasuna's version of Hebrew. Hebrew is a magical language. It's an occult language. On Kitasuna, the Rokots speak an occult language. Their native language is an occult language. The poetry of Kurain. Death and destruction married in hell, but death had an affair with war. Insanity and sanity are twins of the mind, so similar that only opinion differs. The soul is alone and stands tallest of all that fall. The earth, wind, fire, and water make the world as it is, but united by spirit they become manifested. By slaughter shall all be judged. Love and hate bicker like a mismatched couple, but life is their child. Love is brother peace. It has brother peace, but hate is jealous of their promise. The divine thought is highest because the resemblance, we are all the same. The sun only shines where divine love and peace exist, and also upon the elements of the material world. The clans that work well together will make powerful magic. Calling the whole of a clan will invoke the clan name. Call upon a nation of clans. Only good and evil exist here. All unite behind a common purpose. Well, all these like death, destruction, hell, death, war, insanity, sanity, soul, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, slaughter, love, hate, life, love, peace. Those are actually the names of clans. If I were to translate this back into the native Rokot, it would literally name all the clans by name. But since it's in English, you lose all that. You lose that little bit of information. Because I think I have the clan book for the War Clan and the Slaughter Clan. That's why there's a Manu Temple and a Shimura Temple. Because Manu is War, Shimura is Slaughter. And that's why those two temples is, because I actually wrote the books for those. I guess they're spell books or temple spell books. I don't have all the others because I do not care. I am never going to create them. I don't have the time, the energy, or the will to ever do it. So we got sigils. Yeah, we got sigil ritual. Yeah, I put the mirror in the corner. And I believe that's the setup I had when I went I better not do that. It might actually activate the mirror in the back room and it's behind me. I don't want something standing behind me. Sigil altar. There's the altar. There's my brother. The piece of shit that's now dead because he kind of deserves it. He's a criminal and a leftist, so he deserved it. He deserved what he got. So you got the ultimate sacrifice. So that's blood magic. There's blood magic. You can never undo it. If you spill blood, it's forever. You can never turn those spells around. Christianity would like to beg to differ, but every sorcerer, even on Earth, Satanists, Wiccans, and everyone included say you cannot. Even Oberon, when Daniel was talking about blood magic to him, which he did not feel comfortable, but he still told us enough to warn us: if you spill blood ritually, you cannot undo it. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I wholeheartedly believe you cannot undo blood magic. Once you spill blood, it is forever. You can't beg God to undo the contract because you signed in blood. And when you sign in blood, you sign with the blood of Christ. Because your blood, I guess since you are like, I don't know, a child of God, your blood is basically the blood of Christ. If you spill it in a ritual, you can never undo it. You're going to live with that for the rest of eternity. And sadly, I spilled blood hundreds of times. So I am 100% fucked. There's no undoing it. Here's stuff for the lesser gate. And black mirrors. There's the writing, Koba, Mastib, Nido, Molb. There's only 4. Oh yeah, Sorhan. Oh, there's no Sorhan on this one. Oh, there's the power force posture. You can see I used to be a lot more cuddly. The Sorhanic key. There's incense with incense in it, ready to be lit. You can't just see demons passing through it, and that's what happens. You get fucking demons. That is not incense. That is a physical, literal demon. That is physically standing on the chair. That is not a manifestation of smoke or an incense. It is physically there. Because that's literally something passing through the smoke of incense. Pretty blurry is what you get. Pretty blurry image. I had to make an outline just to even show things even there. Because when you only have smoke, you don't really get a whole lot. But when you go evil, you go full evil. And use a Sorhanic key and a black mirror and make the greater gate. This is the greater gate. This one has Koba. Koba means greed. Mastib means vengeance. Nido means hate. Molb means malice. And Sauron is a god of corruption by name. And that's his name right there. Syorhan, written in Rokat. Making a Sorhanic key has more items you can buy or more objects you can make. And this says, in the name of, we'll go with Kukla. I love Kukla. He's like one of my best friends when it comes to like demons and shit. Like demonic hell spawned gods from alien hells and shit. In the names, rise Kuklu of madness. And eat mortal flesh. Eat until there is no more. Feast and it shall be so. And it just repeats to all 9 of them. And Sauron's this one. It's got middle. I don't know why. He's literally the chief deity. Like, he's the highest one. So we got rings of power. Like, I should have covered that up. Probably going to scroll back and try to make one of those, but you're going to need a box with these sigils on it to like house the rings in, so your house does not become like demonically possessed and shit. Like, you will literally make your house like irreparably possessed. Holy water does not work on them. They literally will just ignore it. They're so powerful. You can just wash them with holy water and they'll be like, is that all you got, bitch? And they'll laugh at you. And these are the Sorhanic rules. There's so many fucking temples here, so I'm just gonna go through all this. So we got writing spells. This is where Hogwarts completely flops. spell crafting, writing spells. So this just basically, yeah, it just basically tells you about writing spells, the sorcerer, the deity, the ego. There's a lot of detailing. I'm not going to go into it because there's the 6633 rule about combining deities in the same ritual. That's kind of interesting. Because the first deity, you only use one god, it takes 100% of the ritual. But if you use a second god, it'll only a third. It'll only take a third of the power from the ritual with the second deity. So the first god is 66%, the second god's 33, and 1% is probably the antimatter, the pure energy that goes kablooey boom boom. So now we list off every single entity ever heard of, mentioned in every spell in the entire prophecy. There are well over 300 of them. I don't even know the exact number. I lost count at 300, and I think that was before I even had the Urish deities at all. And they're in here. There is Urish, and these guys didn't exist either. These weren't even known. Hortal, Hala, Kruva, Tanoa. These weren't even counted among the 300. I could be at 400 in here. And here's a couple. We don't even know how much power they have. Dark Fire God. Oh, I gotta skip this section completely. The evil god's name is written in here, so I gotta skip this. So yeah, we're on the Celestials. Yeah, like I'm really gonna hand you guys the name of the evil god, so you can conjure unfathomable power. Because that's something I'm not gonna let any morons have. Because even though the evil god is literally hardcore conservative, he'll probably try to smite the liberal trying to summon him. I'm not going to make the risk of revealing his name, but I will reveal a god that you could summon. His name is Jubilee Tessahara, and he is a liberal. But he is nowhere near as liberal as the Democrats. But he is the most liberal entity in the entire book. But I would have to say he does not believe in transgenders. These are the illuminations. Every word Janu ever wrote, every word of Janu in the entire prophecy is explained. This section I should cover in its own video because Janu is the prophet of doom, and there may be some revelations in here that I don't even know about, or maybe newly revealed revelations. So there's some so yeah, we'll cover this. This will be its own video. I'm only going to cover this by itself because there's quite a bit of these revelations, these illuminations in here. Covers the entire collection of religious texts. So I'm gonna call it a night because there's your book. That is the entire book minus a few sections I had to cover up because they're just too freaking dangerous. But other than that, that is out. I can say this is a book that Oberon Zell Ravenheart should read. I need to get this to him before he dies, so that they can upgrade his current books, or he can upgrade his books. I don't think he's gonna write another book, but I think he can add a chapter covering the stuff that I covered and give Earth's point of view of these subjects. So I need to find a way to contact him about that. Well, in the meantime, I need to get a hold of Tibbs TV at some point. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do that. I might just do it over the phone at this point. Because I don't see any reason where I have to make a video at all. But I just need to know some questions about doll-related magic, puppetry-related magic, things dealing with dolls, puppets, and mannequins and whatnot. So I can at least reach 288 at the next publishing of this thing. Like I said, I'm probably going to get to 2 hours and 40 minutes here. I just need that, and then I could republish the book, print it up, and then try to get a hold of Old Bronzell Ravenheart to try to get him to cover the material that my book covers on a human aspect of it. Or maybe his current headmaster can do that. I don't know. Or the guy is literally 85 fucking years old. I'm not sure he's going to be able to write or upgrade his books, add a chapter covering like entities, their power levels, and like how to deal with them and stuff. Because I literally covered quite a few just in here. Because the Rokot only version of this book is really not worth even having. The human Rokot version is definitely worth having because it contains useful knowledge. Stuff in here is actually useful. So I'm going to say good night. We had enough fun here tonight looking at some really seriously dangerous black magic book, the kind of stuff that would put Voldemort in his place in one night. Because you mix that book in the Harry Potter, if you put that book in the Harry Potter universe, anyone who wields the Urash would literally be a freaking god. It's like Dumbledore wouldn't even know what to do if he encountered something like that. Because the Urash on Earth is plenty bad. Because look what happened to Venezuela. That's a mess. That's just a complete mess. And look what happened to Mitch McConnell. And there's a dam in China that also burst all within a week. All this within a week. Like Venezuela, Mitch McConnell, and a dam in China went kaboom, boom, boom. All within 1 week. And all I did was use the MAGA curse. That was it. And I only did it one time correctly. The other 3 or 4, I didn't do it correctly. But the intent was still there, at least within my mind, to do everything I can to destroy the enemies of the United States. So, yeah, if that's what it does in the real world, can you imagine what it would do in the Harry Potter universe? I take that book to Hogsmeade, get a hotel room, and just start chanting that crap. I am pretty sure every shade, what the fuck are those things called? Those creatures they had? I don't even know what the creatures were called anymore. I haven't seen that movie in like a decade now. Oh shit, it's been a long time since I watched a Harry Potter movie. They had those freaking wraiths or whatever the hell they were that went to London in that Beast, the Fantastic Beasts movie. I'm pretty sure that's what would happen if someone were to use it in the Harry Potter universe. Or even just practice lesser magic from that book. It would just be insane. And if you haven't noticed, there's no wand. It's all with a dagger. And the most dangerous spell in the entire prophecy is done out of your own mind. You don't even need any tools whatsoever. You just simply speak it, and it shall be so. Speak, and it shall be so. It's a Shenva phrase. It's a Shenva figure of speech of just demanding things to happen because they are a magical creature, like something that apparently can transcend galaxies and shit and universes because they're powerful, cosmic. The description of them, they're not cosmic powerful, but of course Valos is exceptional and is insanely powerful and is beyond what a normal Shenva is. Because he speaks Eurasian and knows riddles and rhymes and things, and apparently that's how you manifest really crazy shit. Or you just simply tell the universe what you want to have happen in his language, and it shall be so. Speak, and it shall be so. Okay, well, have a good night. All I'm going to say is that a school of 3,500 students would literally mop the floor with the entire wizarding world of Harry Potter. And if anything, a single student from the Sacred School of Prophecy could literally mop the floor with the entire Harry Potter universe. Just speaking in Urish, which Jacoba has now currently learned, and so I guess Jacoba single-handedly could conquer the Harry Potter universe in probably a single night. Because all you have to do is go to a magical place like that, which Kitasuna is full of magical. The entire planet is magical places. So all you have to do is just go out in his front yard and start chanting. And the wizarding world would fold to his will. Literally. All you have to do is speak and it shall be so. Because that's one of the catchphrase, one of the main phrases I know from the Shenva, the magical race from Kitasuna that speaks in chaos, primordial. They speak in primordial chaos. They literally command the elements to do their will, do their bidding. So, oh yeah, I gotta turn the camera on. I can't say goodbye unless I turn this thing around. So, bye bye.